Hello, I'm Linda Austin. Thank you for joining us for the Essence of the Week for May 20th, 2012. I am the light. The light is surrounding me. The light is transforming me. The light is protecting me. Divine love is flowing around and through me, solving and dissolving all situations for the good of all. A higher power is in charge of my life, and only good can come through me. My mind is open, my heart is receptive, and miracles are happening right now. I consciously choose to raise my vibration to a place of truth and light. Yes, well, you know, the channel is correct. For many years, for always, we have said to her, just because you can do something doesn't mean you have to do it. And that is not something that all of you are familiar with. But there are those of you who see a task that needs to be done and assume that you are responsible for making that right. You are the ones who pick up the trash and put it in the wastebasket on the sidewalk. You are the ones who rush to help someone who has stumbled. You are the ones who take it upon yourselves to be a physical expression of love. Your thoughts are coming from a place of wanting to make things right, wanting to make things good, wanting to come from a loving place. And that is well and good. However, we want to remind you of something else that has been said many times. Love your neighbor as yourself. We have pointed out that in order to do that, you need to begin by loving yourself. And so what we are saying is the balance that the channel is looking for is treating herself with as much responsibility as she treats the rest of the world. And to understand that if you do not take care of yourself, you have nothing to give to take care of others. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it. If it's going to deplete your reserves, if it's going to make you so you cannot provide for yourself. Sharing is one thing. Giving everything is not being respectful of either yourself or the person that you are giving to. You also need to understand that the intention to give needs to come from a loving place of abundance in your own life. Not flinging yourself on the grenade to save someone else. If you are doing it from a sense of responsibility, if you are doing it from a sense of loving sacrifice, that's one thing. If you are expending all of your energy doing something you love, it energizes you. If you are doing something from a sense of responsibility, it drains you. It's the difference between work and joy. Now, are there things in your life that need to be done that you don't necessarily enjoy doing? Of course. Very few of you enjoy paying your bills, although all of you should. It should be an enjoyable process. It should be a sense of sharing an abundance and acknowledging your abundance by paying your bills. But those of you who are living in a sense of state of mind of scarcity do not enjoy paying your bills at all. And so you create more and more scarcity because you are doing something that does not bring you joy and that drains you. So the key, if you have something that you need to do, that you have to do, that's not joyful, is to find a joyful state of mind in which to do it. To say to oneself, I don't want to study for my driver's exam is ridiculous. It's going to be hard work, I'm going to be nervous, I'm going to, etc., etc. But why do you do it? Because you want a driver's license. To say, I'm not going to engage in a relationship because I'm afraid I'll get hurt, discounts the rewards that one gets when one is in a powerfully positive relationship. So it's about finding the reason to do what you don't want to do. The reason that's going to bring you joy. What's the payoff, as the saying goes? And if the payoff is simply that I've checked that off my list, then it shouldn't have been on the list in the first place. The channel spent a great deal of energy and effort working in her yard and in her garden. And part of it was because she wanted to create something beautiful. But another part of it was because she felt that she needed to keep up with the neighbors. That part she can let go of. That's the balance we're talking about. That's the balance she needs to focus on. What am I doing for myself, and what am I doing because it's expected of me by someone else? Something that I don't particularly care about, but I'm doing it because someone else expects me to. She has recently let go of one of the volunteer activities that she's been engaged in for almost 20 years. And she has no sense of loss. It had become an obligation rather than an opportunity. This is part of what you are going to be working with, exploring, and being curious about in this year of consolidation of the spiritual aspect and the human aspect. Where is the ego controlling where you put your energy, and where is the heart controlling where you put your energy? If you're doing something because you want to look good, or you're doing something because you think that you ought to do it because everyone in your family has always done it, that's not a good enough reason anymore. Life is about options. You are here as a physical manifestation of love to choose. That's the beauty, that's the gift of physical life. Free will, options, choices. When you are not exercising that free will, when you are allowing yourself to be controlled by other people's expectations, or rules and regulations that were laid down by ancestors or family that have moved on to spirit and couldn't care less now about whether you do it the way it's always been done. There is one thing about honoring tradition. There's another thing about being tied to something that no longer serves you. The channel right now is in a process of purging photographs, mementos, clothing, etc. Things that no longer serve her where she is today. And she needs to go carry that one step further to look at what is she putting her energy into that does not feed her soul, or anyone else's for that matter. You are being asked to make choices based on what is your joy. Where is the bliss in your life? Does this move me toward my bliss? Or does it just fill some obligation that I feel I've got? Anything that you are doing out of fear or guilt is better left undone. Yes. That's the balance we're talking about. That's where we want you to be. Where everything in your life is done because it's moving you toward something positive. Whether it's just knowing that your bills are paid, or whether it's knowing that you are expressing yourself in the highest form of beauty that you can. It's moving you toward your joy. Yes. We will close.